amplify the voice and power of Muslim women. I am here to smash the patriarchy, and I'm trying to challenge Islamophobia.
Bojo and Ninawe Makanananik, Een, Robert Shimmick, Indigenakas. Ani Makia Nakwed, Nindago, Ogushko Manasi, Indudame, Gawa Babikanikag, Ishkonigan, and Dunjaba. I am the executive director of the White Earth Land Recovery Project in the southwestern corner of the beautiful White Earth Indian Reservation.
In September of 2015, it was obvious that there wasn't a space or platform that was dedicated specifically to Muslim women. We thought, well, why don't we create that brave space to bring Muslim women together? And so 2 years later, we are up and running and growing the network, building sisterhood, doing leadership development work, as well as being more engaged in the civic and democratic process.
Part of our task at White Earth Land Recovery Project is with community, putting the pieces back together that were broken down and scattered by colonialism. Every time we plant a seed, every time we learn a new word in our beautiful Ojibwe language, every time we liberate the square inch of our land back into tribal ownership, we're nation building.
There are stories of Muslim women engaging in their communities back like 1400 years ago. And we're trying to revive those stories so that Muslim women understand that this isn't something new. This engagement and advocacy work that we're trying to do, this is something that we've seen Muslim women doing all along, and we're just reminding them. We have that power, we just need to reclaim it.
With all these projects, whether it's the health of the mind or the spirit or the body, our task is to bring them back, present, front row, center, and every day for all the citizens here on the White Earth Reservation.
So the way Headwaters approaches these issues in the community is the approach that RISE wants to emulate, because we see results. It's about the people who are affected most by that problem, and how do you bring them to the table and make sure that they can figure out a solution.
The Headwaters Foundation has been a keystone piece in so much of the work we do here. It's provided something we can point to that says, hey, we're not in this alone. We're part of a family that's brought together by the foundation to empower people, to empower communities, to do the work they deem necessary, they deem useful.
So for Muslims in Islam, we're here to serve God, and the way we serve God is by serving others. The work that we do in our community, through civic engagement, the democratic process, this is kind of like built into our faith.
Anishinaabe, we were put here. We were put here for some very specific reasons. And that is to take care of this. Take care of all these beautiful and incredible gifts that were put here for us to live.
When I look at my sisters, I feel not just hope, but I see a vision of a world and a place where everybody can grow and thrive and live in harmony.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فأنقذكم منها كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون ولتكن منكم أمة يدعون إلى الخير ويأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر وأولئك هم المهتدون يوم تبيض وجوه وتسود وجوه فأما الذين اسودت وجوههم أكفرتم بعد إيمانكم فذوقوا العذاب بما كنتم تكفرون وأما الذين ابيضت وجوههم ففي رحمة الله هم فيها خالدون تلك آيات الله نتلوها عليك بالحق وإنك لمن المهتدين وما الله يريد ظلما للعالمين ولله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وإلى الله ترجع الأمور صدق الله العظيم.
تكبير.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته everyone. My name is Iman Sulaiman and I am one of the Shura members of Rise, alhamdulillah, this year. This is similar to board members, which are the governing body of the organization. It is specifically called Shura Council because it incorporates our cultural values and our Islamic traditions, but also it does bring in our intersexuality and our identities that each one of us bring to support the executive director, Nishina, as well as the mission of the organization of Rise. I am honored to stand before you here today and welcome all of you to this yet to be a fabulous day, inshallah. It is honestly amazing to see all of you here up early in the Saturday cold morning of Minnesota. But alhamdulillah, it's very heartwarming to be able to be part of this gathering, and especially when you look around you and you see so many amazing sisters from all walks of life. Allahumma barik. Personally, I really love it when I see that, and I truly appreciate the diverse platform that Rise bring to our community. And one story that I want to share with you in particular relates to the Shiros, the collection of stories that have been put together by Rise. And this past fall, Rise hosted an event that's called Not All Shiros Wear Capes. So I attended that event, and I remember when I was attending, I was like, I wonder what this event about. I was like, it's a catchy name, so it's really interesting, and I was very curious to kind of dive into the topic. But as I was sitting down and started hearing the effort that went into the project, and I was really impressed to see, mashallah, all the work that I put into it. But most importantly, I was touched by one particular story. And that is specifically from Sister Valerie. I don't want to look at her because I'm going to cry. I was crying that day because I was like, mashallah, wow. As she narrated her story, I could relate to it at so many levels. And not only that, but I saw that just to see another Black Muslim woman at the stage showing so much resilience and power, mashallah, and compassion. And I really appreciate this work that Sister Valerie does in our community, where she does a lot of advocacy to bring to bridge the gap between our deaf community and to make sure that they have access to Islamic teachings. It's really powerful and it's amazing, and I ask Allah to reward her immensely for that effort. I truly felt empowered that day and very inspired. It had a lot of impact on me to just see that, alhamdulillah, so many of us, so many Muslim women in our community they're leading and influencing others in a positive way. And to kind of walk in their path and their footsteps is, mashallah, it's just amazing. This is just one of the highlights of Rise that I want to share with you today. And I know that each one of you guys have your own touch with Rise as well. But Rise truly does bring a wonderful platform for us to meet, mingle, learn from each other, and walk away feeling empowered and really ready to make a positive change in the world. I hope that you enjoy your conference today and make the most out of it, inshallah. In closing, I just want to make dua for all of us. May Al-Fattah open his doors of mercy for all of us. May Al-Razaq allow us to gain beneficial knowledge today. And may Allah keep us guided upon his path. Allahumma ameen. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I am so excited. So I was talking the other day to Noshina and the entire Rise crew as we were planning, and I was telling the volunteers, I was like, you guys, this is the biggest day of the year, so let's get hyped up! Hype, yeah. This is like the Muslim Coachella, except for we only have we have a Muslim performer. Yeah. So this is your time to shine. It's gonna be great. Iman's laughing because she's like, I'm also gonna be in Coachella. Yeah. So think of it as that. So I don't remember what exactly I was going to talk about, but I'm going to say what I want to talk about. I love today. It's my favorite day of the year. I get nervous, I get emotional, I get excited because I get to be with my sisters. And I don't always get to do that. I mean, I do work with Mashina every day, but still. But many of us don't have the privilege of working with women who look like us, women who pray like us, women who practice the way we do. And today is our day. So I want you to own it. This is your day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put you here for a reason. As Megan was saying, you were brought here into this specific room on this specific day, March 2nd, 2019, because you deserve to be here. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I do. So I'm the advocacy director at Rise. And so I work on policy, on lobbying, making sure that Muslim women's voices are heard by our legislators who, I don't know if you all know, but most of them are white guys. So we make sure that they are hearing our voices on specific issues. And this year, we are focusing on 3 issues at the Capitol. So I basically live there when I'm not at the Rise office and in my own house. And the 3 issues we're working on are sexual violence, increasing the number of teachers of color in Minnesota, and also on representation. I already said that. And then also on menstrual equity, which would be access to feminine hygiene care products. So right now in Minnesota, we have between 6 and 9 years, survivors of sexual violence, we have between 6 and 9 years to report to the police. And we want to eliminate that completely. People should be able to report whenever they want to. We are also working on menstrual equity, and I mentioned that because not everyone has access to feminine hygiene care products at their schools, and that's a problem. That's an equity issue, right? That if guys have their periods, then there would be pads and tampons advertised on billboards, they'd be in everyone's car, they'd give you free ones as you're walking down the street. But we want to make sure that our girls are taken care of. And finally, increasing teachers of color. Anyone know the number? Did it say it up there? Anyone know the number or the percent of teachers of color in Minnesota? 4%. 4%. 96% of teachers in Minnesota are white. 4% are teachers of color. That needs to change. Our teachers need to reflect our students. So we're working on that as well. So I'm asking you all to join me at the Capitol. It's easy. We talk to our legislators. They listen, and they're actually forced to listen to you even if they don't want to. So show up. And I need you there. I cannot be the only Muslim woman there, with Iman also. But we cannot be the only Muslim woman there. So please show up with me. I would love to have you. And then finally, we are working on sexual violence awareness. So if you come to my session, you'll hear a little bit more about my story. But I'm a survivor of sexual violence. And I talk about that openly now because our community needs to. And so some of the things that we are doing around sexual violence is, as I mentioned, the legislation to support survivors. And then we also do healing circles. So anyone who identifies as a survivor of sexual violence can come to these healing circles and learn how to support one another and to heal ourselves. We also have therapists at these sessions, and we have info sessions for parents, for educators, for other people who want to learn more. And finally, we are starting this year, inshallah, to bring in male allies, because the biggest perpetrators of rape and sexual assaults are men. So we need them to stand with us. We don't need more rapists, we need more men that are standing in solidarity with us, right? Yes. So we are gonna learn how to teach our boys and our men to not be rapists, but to stand with us in solidarity. Can we get down with that? Yeah? Okay, cool.
Stepped inside his home, was overwhelmed with fear. An angel came with words from God, things were still unclear, saying read, but he could not read. Amazing words that he heard, a trembling deep inside his heart, afraid by what had occurred. There was only one who could comfort him, to help him see the light, to ease his fears, to reassure was Khadija, his wife. He said, Zammiluni, 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 Zammiluni. A mighty task has come before me. I need you here with me, by my side, by my side.
Okay, I'm gonna hear from over here.
Wasted and personality in the way that lists of others. The goal of my academic career is to carve a path for future blind scientists so that the unique skills and perspectives of the blind community are embraced by the rest of the world.
Look at the height difference, you know? I have to like, so
You're not that tall.
we're gonna eat now.
I'm not that
What do you mean I'm not that tall? Do you guys
We are the same height.
hold the camera? So look at it, guys. I'm literally Mountain Everest. It's like not even on the map.
Yeah, I know. I'm so tiny. Oh my god.
We're about the same height, right? Short people problems. I can't relate.
Your boots are healed.
There you go. Well, guys,
took a picture?
we're gonna grab some food.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna eat, okay?
Individual leaders as well as arts organizations.
Here's what I did. If you were to just say, I'm a sales associate at American Eagle Outfitters, I help customers find products. Or, I was a merchandising specialist at American Eagle Outfitters. I provided excellent customer service to uphold the brand. The two job descriptions are different.
Have this similar issue, this struggle, and that is that we don't invest enough in self-care. A lot of us women tend to be extremely hard on ourselves. There is this I think there's this narrative that is taught again and again. Of course, it's very cultural. It does not come from our religion. But that's this idea that women are meant to be the sacrificial lambs for everyone else around them, and that women end up actually neglecting their own self-care. They tend to not be very compassionate to themselves, and there is this idea that, but I'm here only to serve others and only to be supportive to others. But while that's really beautiful to be supportive and it's really beautiful to serve, in fact, there's a very, very high reward for it. But while that is a very noble cause, it's also necessary for you to take care of yourself in order for you to be able to take care of anyone else. And of course, there's the classic example, anyone who's been on an airplane, now when I'm traveling with an infant, then they come and they tell you to your face, put your own oxygen mask on first before assisting even your infant, you know? And that at first might sound like a bit self-centered or selfish, right? That's usually our knee-jerk reaction is like, what do you mean? Am I just supposed to think of myself? Well, no, because the reality is that if you're dead, you can't help anyone, right? If you yourself are deprived of oxygen, how are you going to be in a position to help your baby or your family or anyone else or your society? So it's really, really important that we invest in self-care. And that kind of brings me to the next point and really the essence of what I want to talk about, and that is, what is self-care? What is self-care? There's so many different definitions out there of how to take care of yourself. Do you, right? And I think that we have possibly fallen prey to, we have like different extremes. And this is the thing about extremes. You'll find that when you have one extreme, it tends to be that a reaction comes that's on the opposite extreme. Have you guys noticed this? So I think a lot of this has happened. On the one hand, we live in a very individualistic society, right? And sometimes what happens in an individualistic society is that there's a lot of this concept of do you, but what does it really mean? Taken to its extreme, it means just do whatever is self-interest, whatever it fulfills your self-interest, and don't worry about anyone else. And this idea of nafsi is also very dangerous. What does that mean? This idea of myself. Nafsi is an attitude that you will see actually at its extreme, we're told in the Quran, on the Day of Judgment.
We talked about was how the activists live on one planet and the spiritual folks live on another planet. And then there's a planet that has both the activist and the spiritual person, and that's Rise.
على